The Firewall tab covers two different application protection functions: IP-based access control lists at the top and Web Application Firewall profiles at the bottom. In this video, we will cover the access control lists, or ACLs, in the top half. The table allows you to create an ACL for each PAC IP address and separates the IPv4 and IPv6 into separate subtabs, as you can see here. It's important to note two things. First, traffic will only reach your PACs and the devices within them for public-facing ports you have added in the configuration builder. So if you add port 80 to your PAC, for example, all traffic to other ports is blocked by default at the edge of our network. Secondly, you don't need to create an ACL to allow all traffic to your PAC on that port. It's an allow all by default concept. Within an ACL group, you can easily block specific IP addresses, or if you want to change it to a deny by default concept and only allow specific IPs, you would create a deny all rule to block everything, and then create individual rules to allow specific IPs or ranges of IPs. To create an ACL, click Add on the toolbar. Choose the PAC IP from the list, give it a name, and click Save. Since you can only create one ACL group per PAC, if you already have one, you cannot create another. Once you have a group created, it will appear in the table. Nothing happens at this point until you start creating rules. In my case, I simply want to block an IP address from reaching my PAC. So I will expand the row in the table, and then within the subtable that opens, I will click Add from the toolbar to create my first rule. Here you can see that it allows you to get fairly granular. I will first change the action from allow to deny, and then I will change the source IP operation to equal so I can specify the IP I want to block. You don't need to specify the protocol or even the port if you want to block this IP entirely. But if you have multiple public-facing ports defined on your PAC and you only wanted to block this IP from reaching port 80, for example, you could change the protocol to TCP and then define the destination port to equal port 80. Once you click Save for this rule, it queues for deployment. You do not need to do anything else to apply this to your PAC, since it will generally take effect within a couple of minutes. Consult the online manual for further information about the Firewall ACL functionality.